From the outside looking in, video games are a simple form of interactable media, but for many of us, their impact is far deeper than one might initially anticipate. If you ask anyone who plays games, they'll have some special experience that might not be an IGN 10 out of 10 or a generation-defining piece, but rather a game that is just special to them. This happens for a wide variety of reasons. Games can help us overcome strife, games can help us grow in unforeseen ways, and games can also just connect with us in an incredibly deep manner. There are two games that have led me down the path that I'm on now. The path to creating Blurbs and the path to finding out how I see the world. Dark Souls 3 and Journey altered everything for me. They made me realize the value in all of this, and they changed my life. As far as I can remember, Dark Souls 3 is the first single-player game I ever played to completion, and I know that Dark Souls 3 is a relatively new game, but I'm a relatively new gamer. I don't need to explain that Dark Souls is hard. The series is known for its difficulty, and it only took my arrival at the first boss to realize that I was not prepared for the challenge it presented. I probably fought this boss 100 times. I'd get frustrated, I'd quit out, I'd swear the game off for all eternity, and then an hour later, I'd stop my homework to take on Gundyr again. It was this requirement of persistence that continually drew me back to the game. I feel like at this point in my life, I was afraid of the things that I wasn't good at. I would quickly bounce off of anything that I didn't immediately excel within, but Dark Souls 3 challenged me, and I stood up to the challenge. I would take on its bosses with determination to claim victory, and I would also take on life's challenges with a determination much the same. This is the point when I got into running. Running has been a huge part of my life over the last few years, all culminating in a marathon which I'll be running in this Sunday. The proposition of a marathon still terrifies me, even though I've put in hundreds of hours of preparation. But Dark Souls 3 showed me that I do have the determination to overcome things when I'm unprepared. So knowing that I did put all of this preparation in means that no matter what happens, I have the confidence to go into this. But more than all that, Dark Souls 3 was just there for me when I really needed it. It offered an escape for me in a time where I was struggling to understand and cope with some of life's hardships. Dark Souls 3 isn't the greatest game ever. Honestly, most people would claim it's the worst of all the From Software games, but Dark Souls 3 means a lot to me. Every time I boot it up, every time I travel through that opening cemetery, every time I hear the Firelink Shrine music, I am transported back to a version of myself who really needed this escape. While Dark Souls 3 helped me escape, Journey helped me accept. Journey was my introduction to small and quaint experiences, and to this day, these small experiences are what I play games for, what I talk about on this channel, and what teach me the most about myself. Journey is also the inspiration for hordes of indie developers, as it's living proof that short emotional stories can be told, and there will be a market for them. It is a beautiful game and a beautiful example. But Journey is more than all that to me. I've talked about Journey at length on this channel before in the old Crypts of Blurbs videos. I talked about Journey's underlying message, one of loss and the movement of life. It's a beautiful game. It says so much without saying a word. The metaphors are wide-stretching as other players will come into your game, aid you in your progression, and then suddenly, without warning, leave. A metaphor for the people in our lives and how they aren't permanent, but how they help guide us along our journey. As a whole, Journey teaches us a lot about this trek of life, how there is always another chapter. It shows crescendos and descents, it shows excitement, and it shows tragedy. I wasn't trying to read into Journey, but it spoke to me instantly, and I felt what it was saying. At a time in my life where I experienced so little hope and I thought all was dark, Journey helped to remind me that there is always light on the other side of that darkness. There is always a reason to keep helping others, to keep living, and to keep chasing our dreams. Journey, more than anything else in my entire life, is the reason I started Blurbs. The culmination of all of this was the creation of Blurbs. Last week, Blurbs reached 1,000 subscribers, a point I never really imagined myself getting to. I created Blurbs out of passion and out of necessity for a school project. I never planned on doing Blurbs this long. I never planned on doing Blurbs as a career, but you guys changed that. Your support, your love, your kind words have kept me invested over the last 3 years. It's been hard to put it down when there are so many people so passionate about it continuing. I don't know where Blurbs is going, but I know where Blurbs has been, which means I know that it's a journey worth taking. Thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers, and here's to whatever is next.